Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for gathering here with me. I'm very excited for this. So many of you are live. Hello, hey Darshana. I'm giving a few moments for people to gather, and I'm so happy. Let me say something to Chen. Chen, there are some people writing in the messenger. Can you check and answer them? Yeah, so we have like precious 15 minutes and so much download and wisdom to share. And I'm very happy to do that, but we still need a little bit to get the technical things going. And I'm very touched by the fact that you are here and that you gathered to listen and to do this journey. I know that many people will be listening to this recording in the next 24 hours, which is, of course, beautiful. Nevertheless, I know that technology allows us to bridge through time and spaces, and the download is a download, the same that we're able to read the sacred script or books of beautiful masters from 20 years ago and 50 years ago and still feel their vital knowledge. Nevertheless, being together as a group, and we can say, in my perception at least, praying together as a group, that gives a very beautiful injection, imprint of the wisdom of the light. The moment that we are able to gather together, the fact that we are all now live, this is a significant thing. It is beyond. You can imagine if we take this example of being next to a master or reading the book 50 years after, wouldn't you prefer to sit next to the master? At least for me, the answer is very clear. So 7 days of live light sessions. And we gather the burning questions. Many people, we were asking for people to give us, what do you feel that you would like to address to? What are the things that you would like to undo and open up? And I was reviewing and contemplating for several days what would be, like the core issues, in the sense I was not looking this time on things that really, like self-love or self-esteem, that those are core issues to work from within. I was more looking at something that I would say glass ceiling. Some things that you would like to work, or you're working, or you're manifesting, and somehow, from some reason, you're not breaking through. There's a click that still haven't been done, and you're not able to break through. And of course, there could be many reasons why this phenomena is happening. Some, as I was giving in other classes, the teaching that we have contract, we have vows, we have other things that can hold us. But there's also something else. There's also a level of shift in our consciousness that from some reason we're not able to surrender to. I would say that. We're not able to embody. And just that by itself can be a whole different teaching. And if you would like me to give teaching about that, then send me a DM and ask me, and I will do an event for that. But what we will do in these 7 days, every day we take these topics, those burning questions, and I picked up another reason to what came in to be part of these 7 days are issues that I myself needed to pass through. And it makes this knowledge not only theoretical, but you can really copy my grid, if we can say so, for those who understand light language and speaks already light language. You can copy it from my consciousness, and I'm going to bombard you with that. And of course, as most of you probably also know, it would be good for you to enroll and get the geometry, because I will give teaching and I will also speak through light language, not only from my energy field, but really concrete light language forms and shapes that you can use. And in the email, you will get two types of geometries. You will get light language grids and you will get shapes and colors, but I will go deeper in that later on. This is just for those of you who did not enroll. Please know to enroll. Yes, and I'm saying also, for those of you who do not know, I took a decision that for Live's event, until I will change it, I have the sense that it could be that I will change it, I'm not going to do consecration out loud. But if you are watching it, make sure that if you are prepared for it, make sure you're doing consecration before. And if you're watching live now, then if you're not watching live and you are watching a replay, then do pause, take a break, do an alignment, do a consecration, because the streams of information that is passing through the net, you are receptive enough to get them. Although you decided to watch a certain live or a replay, there's something in the media that gives you a permission to wander with your head and with the things that you're doing. And because this is download, you don't want to create a mess in your energy field. What I have to deliver is structured and clear. And if you really want to overcome, if you really want to change your consciousness in those topics, then take a moment for consecration and for alignment, and make sure that you are in the zone. And if not, so goodbye. See you in another post or somewhere else. So today's topic is how to step into greater financial independence. Financial independence is a step in a necessary step in any financial growth. And financial independence is based on being able to be independent. You might have some issues with your finance, and you might have some struggle with understanding and being in tune with the energy of money, of cash, of money making, of exchange, of value, of worth. And there are many teachings about that. And if I'm not sure, I need to check that. Could be that there's also on my website many teachings about that. Today, I actually would like to focus on something else, which is apart from this value, esteem, etc. I'd like to address the essence of being independent. If you do not find yourself as something that has enough resources from within, and by the way, enough is not a lot, it's not too much, it's not the best. Enough is very minimum. Yeah? Enough, like something. which for sure you have. Yet if you cannot relate to it as something which is a healthy earth for you, it will be challenging to move to any level of independence. For having a financial independence, you would need to feel that you have your healthy ground, that you have something that you can rely on. And that thing can be anything. It needs to be acknowledged and appreciated by you. When I'm saying that that thing can be anything, the minimum could be having your own opinion about what you do, about what you would like life to be, about how you would like to live. Having your own opinion is something very basic to be able to start to be driven by. If you cannot accept what is important for you and cannot worship it, we can say, in one way or the other, it will be very challenging to start moving any cash and money energies towards you. I'm going to do a little teaching about cash and money so we can understand what is the domain that we're playing with. Cash is a liquid, powerful, potential energy. It's a potential. It is flowing. It is shape-shifting. It is very fast, intense, and powerful. This recognition of that attribute must be intense, shape-shifting, powerful, and a signification for a potential. The first thing that you would like to do if you would like to start having good relationship with cash is understanding that we're talking about exchanging potential with quality. This is the exchange that cash is representing. You are giving potential and receiving back a quality. Or you're giving a quality and you receive back a potential. Those two parts are working together. They're having a communion. We're taking potential or giving potential. We all have potentials, and we all would like to have more potentials, so we will have more possibility to expand, to grow, to evolve, to feel good with ourselves, etc. But what about the quality that we would like either to give or to receive? The quality is based on what you can acknowledge from within you. And the reason that I am using the word, I'm pointing to having an idea about something or having something to say, we can say, having something which is matter for us, that is the beginning of how you start to create a certain quality. That thing is imprinted in you, but you need to give a space and a recognition to it, because for sure you have ideas about some things, and for sure You have opinions about some things. Worship this opinion. Clarify it. Clear it. Empower it. Find ways for it to come to life. Find ways to express it or to live according to it. This is how your independence starts. This is how what you believe in starts. You start worshipping it, you start living according to it, will give it its own power, and gradually will move you into being more independent in the way that you think. Because things will start to be related to you. Things will start to be related to your ideas, to what matters to you, to what's important for you, to what you would like to give to the world, to what you would like to live according to. When you start to have this level of my own thinking, my own emotional body, my own belief system, my own style of life, when you start to have idea towards that, when you start to have, excuse me, I have a coughing that is coming again and again. I'm going to drink, excuse me, a little bit of water here. When you start to have this level of clarity of what is meaningful for you, you start to be independent. And it starts to live for you to start to create a certain level of exchange with it. The level of exchange will be very much connected to what you will do with it. This exchange can be given freely, and this exchange can also be giving for a certain potential. So, a sip of water. I was not so well prepared with a glass of water next to me. When you are in peace with what matters to you, and when you are able to align yourself with it, you will be able to feel comfortable to put yourself in front. The difference between not having a financial independence and having a financial independence is if you have a sponsor or not. And what are you willing to do for having a sponsor? Maybe you're willing to give the time and somehow, I don't know if I pushed the right button or the wrong button. Let's see. Okay, so excuse me. Somehow, for some people, they can choose to give their time or their passion or their belief system even for being sponsored. So you wake up in the morning, you go to work, you're being sponsored for your time and your energy, and it is okay. You can have your own opinion and you can live according to that, and you might be okay for that, unless you want to become independent, unless you want prosperity. Because even if you're working for someone and you would like to have prosperity, you matter. Your opinion matters. Your belief system matters. The one that you are, as you are, without any strings attached, just who you are, matters, even if someone is paying you a salary every month. This is how you advance in your work. This is how you contribute to the world. But if we're looking at it without thinking of having an exchange, like having a sponsor, and moving into being freely independent and living from your financial resources, then the quality of what you give is essential. And it will not be if you decorate your notebook beautiful. And it will not be if your page will be nice. It will be if you know what matters for you and you know why are you doing the things that you're doing. Being independent means that you know you can do it. You can have support. You know who will be the person that you will ask it from. You can have guidance. You can have people working with you, for you, but you are able to hold the space for all of that to happen. You're sufficient. You trust yourself. You are your own ground, and you're able to ground yourself within. Please take a deep breath, because that gives me another indication and another recommendation. When you are doing your morning little practice or long practice of grounding and connecting, etc., okay, you can ground yourself to earth. But first and foremost, ground yourself within you. You are the fertile land which your prosperity will grow on and from. You are this fertile land. It's not someone else, and it's not somewhere else, and it's not someone else's opinion or someone else's ideas. It is your belief system. It is your ideas. It is your freedom. It is your vastness. It is your recognition of who you are and what you are and what would you like to experience. And it can change. You can have some idea now, some ideas later. You can have some experience now and choose to change it afterwards. You follow your soul. You follow your soul calling. You move into a thriving consciousness instead of a surviving consciousness, or I would even say a lost consciousness. You move and align yourself with a thriving consciousness. And again, the root for it is being you yourself, being independent. You trust yourself. You choose something, it doesn't work, you choose something else, you do a certain experience, it doesn't work, you do something else, but it is thriving. It is always on the go, it is alive, and it is going for something. I go deep a little bit, I will go deeper a little bit with the word thriving, and why I connect thriving to following your soul calling. Because, you can take some decisions that you would like to do a certain project because there's money involved or something really feels beneficial, etc., etc. Yet, what you are able to inject into it will be mental and most likely will be limited. When you agree to take your decisions and to take your project according to what your soul wants you to experience, not your first chakra, not what your bank wants you to experience, but what your heart wants you to experience, what your core wants you, your higher self, what they want to experience, then you are connecting yourself then you are connecting yourself with something which is constantly alive, with something that is endless. You are aligning yourself with immortality. You are aligning yourself with the fountains that gives ideas, sources, and resources for everything to happen. Thriving means that you follow it and you do not hold yourself from expressing whatever is ripe and ready to be shared. So if I go back again to you having your own opinion, you having your own idea, you having what very clear what you believe for, why are you living, why are you giving, what are you here for? When you start to follow that, it will have its own power as well to guide you. So your idea, when you are in connection and in passion with it, your ideas will show you the way. It is a stream that doesn't end when you commit to it. It will thrive by its nature because you are not conquering a certain result. You do not conquer a point. You can have many milestones on your way, yet what you are more focused on is what needs to pass through you, what needs to be shared through you. How can you share this idea? How can you share this thing that you believe in so much and you feel so alive? It will thrive. You don't need to work for it to thrive. You need to be in alignment with it. You need to be in attunement with it. You know, many of you know that I was teaching for many years, and then there was a point that I said, okay, I need to take a break. I cannot. And somehow I took a break for 1.5 year, half year more than what I felt or planned to take a break, and somehow my finance didn't stop, although I was not working so intense as I was working before. The wave of thriving is not just more and more and more and more. For after every day, there's a night. After summer, there's a winter. There are times for interiorization and there are times for sharing things out loud. For your projects, for your ideas, your concepts, the things that you live for, the things that you appreciate, there are time for them to be in your womb. There are times for them to be looked at, to be nourished, to be taken care of, and there are time for them to come forth. The tendency to push and push and push and push without knowing that there's a moment or different moments that you will need to interiorize to contemplate or interiorize to understand more or to let that things evolve within you. Those moments are essential. The tendency to ignore them and to push can dry you down. It will not lead to more prosperity. It will not allow you to thrive. Thriving is natural in life. Thriving is the natural wave, and it is including rain and sun, alternating, and sometime in beautiful working together beautifully and having rainbows in the air. Yeah. So the people, when I'm looking at life and I'm seeing people, many people that they didn't have any sponsor, they didn't have financial background, they didn't have I don't know, heritage that came from their family, and still they thrive so much. One of the things that I see in common is that it is clear for them what they do and why they do it, and they are being led by that. I have a very strong memory, as I'm using this word, I have a very strong memory of me giving birth. When I gave birth, my body knew exactly what to do. There was no thinking happening. When you are in a certain engagement with what you are here to do and what is meaningful for you, thriving will come naturally. You will be led one step after the other. And another thing is that there is a beautiful combination. I see many people are writing, and I will take a moment afterwards to see your comments and to take the questions. But I want to give you another piece which I feel that is important and beneficial. There's another layer, another dance that you would like to learn how to do, is that when you are creating what you would like to create, and when you are giving for the sake of giving what you want to give and what you're here to give, you also would like to have a certain level of, I called it detached wisdom, which means that don't take money personally. Don't take the value of what you receive as an income for your private session. I'm talking because I know many people here are healers, etc. So don't take that personally. Don't be so obsessed and possessed about what the numbers are saying and what is the meaning of this number, and if it is worthy or not worthy, and what other people will think about it, and are okay comparing to your I don't know, teachers or co-workers or something like that. Don't do that. You would like to have some reasonable wisdom about how money works, how you work, what does it mean, how much you invest, what does it mean to have a private session with you? Do you prepare yourself for that? Does that include 15 years of experience? Do you work 1 hour afterwards or 3 hours afterwards? Do you put your clients in your prayer box and pray for them every day in your prayer ritual? What does it mean? What is the value that feels okay for you? And be in a level of, again, detached wisdom in relation to that. Look at it as a number and compare it, and let that number, let's say like that, don't compare it, let that number express how you feel towards what you do. Do you love what you do? Are you really good in that? Do you put money, time, energy to do it well? Then price it like that. And gradually, for detached wisdom, gradually look in more and more detached way on what is coming and how much it costs, and what will happen if someone will pay it or will not pay it, if they are able to pay it or not able to pay it. Thriving consciousness must come together with a certain detachment towards how much people can pay for your for what you offer or cannot. There will be always client for people who pay for people who charge €5, €500, and €5,000 per hour. Think about your clients with care and compassion when it comes to the real essence of what you can contribute to them. You don't need to think about how much, if at all, they can pay. This is not your zone. How much you can put in your work. This is what you should look at. how much you can put in what you're doing. What can you give? And then what is the worth of that? Without thinking not of your client and not on your coworker or your teachers or whatsoever. You set the quality. Then the last piece is you follow through. You do your work. You do your work. If you decided that this is what you're doing, that you would like to create a certain workshop, to write a certain book, to take a group of people to a journey, to, I don't know, create a certain product, follow through. Every step, even if you do that in little steps. You know, look at the baby, how he can walk by himself. You want to walk by yourself, right? This is what you do, exactly like baby. So you start by crawling, and gradually you walk, and you fall, and you stand, and you fall, and you stand, but you're not busy in avoiding yourself from falling. And of course, you're not busy on blaming yourself that you don't walk as good as your parents or as good as someone else. You follow through, you make your steps, another steps, and another step, and you start to have awareness of the energies. This, I don't have a good word for that. You start to have awareness of the energies that are rewarding you in what you are doing. What comes back? What is the reward that you're getting? And I am not speaking about financial reward. I am not speaking about financial rewards. The financial reward will take care of itself. I am speaking about what is the energy that comes back. Is the universe saying to me that I can continue? Can I continue like that? Is this something that I need to clear within me? Is this something that I need to pray for more? Is there something practical that I need to do? Should I erase a certain word? Should I write another post about it? And you keep on looking when you're going back towards yourself to check what you need to do within. Keep on looking on all the 4 elements. Fire, water, you can say 5, okay? Look at all the 5 elements: fire, water, earth, air, and spirit. Look at them. Do you have a problem in the water? Is it too much water, too less water? Do you have issues with the earth? Is there something still not stable? And create a constant check-in within yourself as you are following through. Please take a deep breath. This is 2 additional teachings that I decided to add, this detached wisdom and endured follow-through, because although they are practical and really not spiritual, they are not connected to your soul, they are not connected to your soul wisdom, etc. I feel that because I'm speaking to spiritual people, most likely most of you are spiritual here, I must put those type of coaching style information, because most likely, most of the time, you don't open yourself to that. There's a joke that I have here with someone that I'm working with, that one day she was asking about a certain abundance. And you know, if you want to think big about money, so you would like to open up for that, you need to take in consideration paying taxes, you need to take in consideration having an accountant, you need to take on consideration declaring, announcing, doing ads. You know, you cannot hide yourself and avoid all of those things and still believe that you will be able to play with it. Money is part of the matrix, and you will need to learn how to dance with that part of the matrix if you would like to be prosper and if you would like to be abundant. You cannot avoid it. So the detached wisdom part is also for that. Don't be preoccupied too much with that. Be preoccupied with that which you are able to generate, and take care and learn how to take care of those parts of the matrix. We cannot speak about money without speaking about matrix, because when you're asking me about having financial independence, you're asking me matrix questions. So you need to take in consideration that we cannot speak about them only with birds and angels and flowers. Those parts needs to be developed, and actually I feel the urge to say you need to wake up for them. You need to wake up for those parts. You need to accept them, you need to acknowledge them, and you need to learn how to play with them. You cannot think about making large amounts of cash if you don't respect cash rules. It's the same that you cannot think about having an intimate relationship with a partner if you cannot acknowledge the partner. It wouldn't work. So you want to play with money, you want to have cash, take in consideration that this is what it means. If you hide yourself and try to sneak and try to arrange things like that, it wouldn't work. There are a few other things that people were saying, and I'd like, oh, I see someone was putting a angry face here. Well, deal with it. There's a few little things more that people were saying. People were asking me also, because I was asking yesterday, I was asking, what do you like to, you like me to relate to when I'm speaking about financial independence? So people were asking me about loans and debt and like moving money from one place to the other. Well, the thing is like that. I don't connect to that. Money, as I said, is a potential energy. Taking money from someone else for a certain period of time without you becoming aware of a plan, detailed plan. How are you going to take care of that? Create cords that will be very, very challenging to undo unless you pay off. So what you're doing is you're taking potential energy, and what you give in return, do you understand? You give a potential energy back. And this is super challenging, because this potential energy you need to use for yourself to be able to prosper. So if you decided to take a loan for someone, if you decided if you move into a place where you need to take money from someone or somewhere, do that and sit together with you, very, very clear with yourself. Take a notebook and make a plan. How am I going to give this money back? And money that you didn't give back, even if you know that you're supposed to give that and that amount to someone, and because you promise, because you owe him, because whatever, it's your life force, and your life force is what you need to make money. So make sure you don't have debt. Make my English. I hope you have patience for me with that. Make sure that you have a clear plan how you are reimbursing or giving back or paying back what needs to pay back. You would not buy a car if you would not have money to pay fuel. Don't take money from someone else if you do not know how to give this money back. Breathe. Then last piece is, someone was asking me about sensation of guilt with making money or being prosper. Please take a deep breath. Guilt is a medicine that you will take on yourself if you would like to keep yourself small. And it could be that for a certain amount of time, certain period of time in your life, you will have some guilt about making money. But as you move yourself into thriving consciousness, which means I have an idea, I have an opinion, I have myself, I have my heart, I have whatever I have here. I am just who I am. And this is all that I need to live and prosper. And that is okay. And I go with it. I don't try to eliminate myself, or to sabotage myself or make myself small. Even if you do that as a mantra, even if you find other way to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that you're alive, gradually, by small rituals of love and self-appreciation, guilt from making money and being prosper will disappear, because you will start to see how much you contribute and how much you are needed. You were needed in this world. You are part of everything that exists, and you cannot eliminate your own self. You cannot. When you allow yourself to let yourself bring your beauty out, to let yourself share your light, your wisdom, without any idea that you should be different or elsewhere, or without that, just bringing it forth, without that, with that, just bringing it forth, the guilt gradually will disappear, because life force will overcome it. Life force will start to be more nourishing. Okay, so I was sending you via mail, for those who enrolled, four sweet gifts. What do you have there? You have 3 sacred geometries made of light language. 1 for thriving consciousness, another one for detached wisdom, which means learning how to work with cash and not being emotionally influenced by cash and money making. The one who was asking also about guilt, etc., being, clear about that, making your plan, how to refund what you need to refund, etc. And the third one is endured follow-through, which means that I'm doing step and another step and another step, and I'm unstoppable. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to fall, but I'm unstoppable. I am bringing to life my thriving consciousness. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to give you thriving consciousness. You tune with thriving consciousness, and this is wonderful. But as I got the questions, I said to myself, I need to speak down to earth, because they're not going to get that even. So what are you going to do? Those who didn't receive, please check it in your mail, etc., the spam. And if not, enroll again or send us a DM and we will take care of that. What would you like to do? You want to print that, and you want to print that in a color printer. And you want to pick the geometry that should support you and can be beneficial for you. Don't drink all the geometry. Take one and play with it and work with it for a certain amount of time, which means a month, 28 days, a minimum. Okay, so print it, even have a lamination, put a glass of water on it, let the water be charged by it, and drink it once a day. It would be powerful. And choose the one that is appropriate for you. You're going to have the 3 of them forever. When you start making money, maybe after that you would like to move into detached wisdom. Okay, maybe first you would like to work with changing your consciousness and opening up your consciousness. So do a water ritual. Or another thing is that you can put that on your, how do you call it, the thing you have on the computer? It's not a screensaver, it's a desktop wallpaper, I think you call it, yeah? So put that as a wallpaper, or maybe put that on your computer, on your mobile, excuse me. But please, the geometry needs to be impeccable. Don't put all the icons of all the emails you need to answer and your apps that you're using and I don't know, like the Word documents that you would like to reach quickly. No, it needs to be clear, clean, and untouched. And the fourth thing that you will have there is that you have a 49 shape grid. The 49 shape grid is for you also to print and to put it on your altar. Now, all of that I've sent to you is made with light language. Light language is the wisdom of sacred geometry and colors. We will be posting in Facebook, I think it will be written, a link to learn about light language. And if you would like to join, because this is the special announcement, on February, I will be teaching online light language level 1 on the 4th to the 6th of February, and light language level 2 from the 18th to the 20th. I think more, I don't remember exactly the date, but you will have the date written if you would like to learn light language, to be able to write it for yourself and to work with everything, actually to manifest anything that you would like to manifest in your life. So this is all written in light language. And in light language, one of the things that you can do is that you can write a community grid. You can write grids for yourself, and you can also write grids for communities. So I was writing for you a certain adaptation to what I will name a community grid. Of course, I could write a community grid for all the people who participate in Homaya's teaching are manifesting or aligning with thriving consciousness. But I wrote it a little bit differently. Then print it, put it in your altar, and meditate with it on a regular basis. There's a specific date when that grid, that, let's say, energetic constellation, which you will receive, or you actually received already, will arrive to completion. But until that date, work with it, meditate, let it influence you, let it charge your energy field. So if you would like to learn more about light language, if you would like to understand what is all those colors and shapes and why I'm using it and how I'm using it, from where is it coming, what can it, how can it contribute, please join me, because when is it going to be? On the 17th. On the 17th of Thursday, this week, Thursday, 7 o'clock GMT time, I'm going to give a free online webinar, Reality Speaks, and I will explain how to work with light language and how light language can influence your life. What are you already doing in light language and why you're doing it successfully or unsuccessfully. So there's many teachings there. I can share for sure that I will post about that on yeah, okay. And she already put all our links on Facebook.
In the comment.
Yeah, in the comments and above. And also I will put some information about that on my stories on Instagram. Tomorrow we're going to do another live session, which will be another hot and very tiring issue, which is to stop being emotionally addicted and move into a greater level of emotional maturity, which means how would I say, be aware of what you're doing with your energy and how you are using your life force wisely, instead of wasting tons of life force on emotional waves and emotional dramas, etc. I will be speaking about that tomorrow. If you still did, I'm going to put also on the story a countdown So you would not need to contemplate when is it, and half an hour before sessions will start, you will receive an email. If you already know that you have questions about emotional maturity, drama, emotional immaturity, addictions, etc., please send me in a DM or we put a post, or I'm gonna put a post on Facebook. So either a DM or a post on Facebook, or any other way that you would like to send, please feel free to send it. Join us and enroll to Reality Speaks to become more aware, independent. You don't need me to feed you with all the grids of consciousness and the decisions of how you move in your life. Become independent. Get the colors, get the shapes that creates your reality, and play your own play. So if you'd like to know more about Light Language and enroll to Light Language, please check the links that we added. Yeah, I wish you a wonderful, amazing, blissful day. And I would love to hear how was it for you to play with the geometries that you will receive or you already received. Share with me. And please share that event with your friends and your colleague. We're gonna scan the. I hope I can scan all the questions here. Please send questions before. That would be the best way, because there's so many teachings to give, and it is super challenging for me still to read it. Bless you. I'd like to say my gratitude, to share my gratitude with all of you and with the divine wisdom that shows us the way. Thank you, beloveds. Bye-bye.